Hello, guys, and welcome to a new episode. Do you know which number this is, my love?
6.
Yes, this is episode number 6 of The Arab and the Manc. My name is Aya, and this is my dear husband,
Dennis.
Hello, my love. Hello, Libis.
You alright?
You?
Not too bad.
I'm just gonna say something. This podcast is like a really tough business. Okay, we need to be better prepared. You need to be better prepared because next week I'm not going to be in the country and we don't have an episode. We need to record it before I travel.
Okay.
So
When are you travelling?
I'm traveling on Tuesday.
So we've got 4 days or something?
Yes. Anyway, Libis, What are we going to be talking about tonight? You've literally just told me the topic 2 minutes before
Well,
this.
I have hinted about it on
And
other
it's about
episodes.
people of your kind.
Yes.
Witches.
Yes. Witches, indeed.
Okay.
So, what do you know about witches?
Witches are bad people. And they used to burn them in like the 1800s. No, not 1800s. I don't know. A long time ago in Sweden. And do you know how to say witch in Swedish?
Do you know, in Iceland,
Yes.
90% of witches were actually men. So there you go.
You're joking.
No?
They were men.
In Iceland.
In Iceland, okay. Dennis, do you know how to say witch in Swedish?
No idea.
4 letters. Hexa.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense, that.
Why?
Because you put hex on people, that means you put a spell on them.
Is
or,
it? Okay.
wish them bad luck.
Yeah. So hexa, ala is 1, for example. Anyway.
Do you know some tennis players in the 80s were accused of being witches?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, look at Goran. Even
that?
he's a witch.
What is this? This is like an inside
That's
joke.
a rubbish Tim Ryan joke from ages ago.
Okay.
He was a tennis player called Goran. Even he's a witch.
When you say jokes, dearest, you have to take me into consideration because I thought it was rubbish and I don't even know.
Because you didn't get it, but about 3 people might get it.
I'm not interested. Anyway.
Should we move on?
Yes, move on. What do you know about witches and why are you picking this ridiculous topic?
Well, we said we were going to do it for Halloween, didn't we? But we didn't.
We're still in Halloween.
We're a bit past it, but I think it's quite interesting. So
yes.
I thought I should fill you in.
Okay, go on then. Tell me.
Because, did you have witches in Arabia? Was it like a big thing? Or?
Well, I don't remember growing up. I don't remember being taught about witches, but we have, like the black magic people. They put spell on people until now. You know, when we lived in Jordan, we used to live in this village called Deir Yusuf. Okay, and I told you the first couple of months we never at home because we were always invited to lunch, breakfast, and whatever. And then this one family that we visited, and there was a little shed, and inside it there was a donkey, but it used to be a man. And they said the witch have changed him to that. They became really unwell, and the witches in Arabia, that we call them magicians, we don't call them witches. They ask the person to bring, for example, a hair of a one-eyed goat.
Well, I'll try one of them.
And
you have to cut the goat's eye out first and then pull it.
No, when when they have one eye because the other one is like that. What is it called? One
blind.
eye. Yeah, blind in one eye.
But how do you find one?
You have to find a nail of a tailless lizard. Like that, seriously. And you have to find a piece of underwear of the person you're making magic to, and you have to know their mother's name and all that.
Okay.
Anyway.
So that makes it quite difficult then.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
There was I know it's quite obviously witchcraft and stuff like that. So even you still have your friends and that'll say about the putting the eye on someone. You say it all the time, or don't talk about someone because you.
Yeah, I believe in that.
They'll put the eye on you or whatever it is.
The evil eye.
Well, they have that in Africa as well, apparently, and
yeah.
obviously it's quite a religious place in Africa. So there was a football manager that went from here to somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
Got a job as a manager there.
Yes.
And he went to...
I think I've heard this story.
They had a big game against one of the rivals.
Yeah.
And when they went out, they opened the dressing room door to go out, and someone had put like a big mark in front of the front door. And they refused to go out and play the game. They had to climb out the window of the dressing room, go all around the stadium.
Smart people. I
would come back in.
I would have done the same choice. It's a big thing.
Oh, well.
It is. That's why I have the big evil eye to deter the evil eye from our house. I have them on both doors, my love. Why do you think you're healthy and sound for the past 10 years?
Right, let's crack on anyway. I've got a bed to get to.
Go on. Tell me.
So, anyway, witchcraft was pretty big in the 1500s and 1600s. It's been around before then.
Yeah.
But there was a book that came out in 1486 or 1487 called Malleus Maleficarum, which means the Hammer of Witches.
Okay.
It's a book this guy wrote, and he had like a piece in it by the Pope at the beginning.
Yes.
To confirm that it's true and that witches are real. So over the next few years, obviously the peasants and that didn't read books in them days, but the elites did.
Yeah.
So by the time it got to like the middle of the next century, they actually were passing laws that witchcraft was illegal. And before, you just get away with, you might you might get fined a few pence, or you'd be put in the stocks for a day, have rotten fruit thrown at you, stuff like that. But then by 1542, you could then be hung for it.
You could be hung for it.
Hung, or they used to use...
or burn you like they did in Sweden.
Well, they used to use something called ducking, which is they would put you underwater, and then if you float, if you come back up, that means you're a witch.
Oh my God.
So basically you have to drown.
So you have to drown to
show that you're not a witch. And hopefully you'd be pulled out just before you die. But obviously a lot of people didn't, and they would just drown.
I'm so glad I did not live in that era.
So...
oh my goodness me. Yeah.
So that come around anyway in 1542.
Yeah.
And there's this particular trial that I'm going to talk about today. It was the Newcastle Witch Trials.
So Newcastle here in the UK?
Yeah, in the north of England.
The Jodis?
Aye.
Okay.
So this is in 1650. This took place.
So almost 100 years later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty much towards the end of it. After this, it kind of petered out a little bit.
Right.
I think people got a bit more wise to the fact that it was just a load of nonsense.
Okay.
But there was a guy called Matthew Hopkins. He wasn't involved in this particular case, but he called himself the Witch Finder General.
Oh, the witch hunter.
Yeah.
But he actually got paid?
Yeah.
From the government? Or
no, from the local authorities, I think. So
local authorities. So
he would just go around, and then the local authorities would say to him, here's so much.
We suspect this.
For every witch that you can find. Well, it wasn't even just suspecting. It was like, for every witch that you find and cleanse our area of witches, we'll give you so much money.
What? How did this job came about?
He just made it up. He just said,
I am.
He said, I am the Witch Finder General. You'd think it's like something that's come from the government, wouldn't you? Like he's been to university and got a degree in it. He didn't. He just rocked up in town and said, I am the Witch Finder General. I'm here to kill your witches. Bring your witches, bitches.
There is no use of
Anyway, so...
fornicating words.
So anyway...
Yes. Apologize to our listeners.
I apologise.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved in this case, but he killed over half the witches in England. Over 1,000.
Over the 1,000 innocent women.
Yes.
And men, probably. I don't know.
Probably made a lot of money out of it.
Oh my goodness. How much did he make for each witch?
I don't know for sure, but this guy here made 20 shillings. The one who did, they haven't got a name for him. He just kind of disappeared into the ether. But this guy got paid 20 shillings for every witch that he caught.
20 shillings, how much is that in nowadays?
I mean, I don't know what it would equate to now, but...
a lot of money.
Yes, a lot.
Wow.
I think someone converted it and it was like £4,000 or something like that.
How could he sleep at night? How?
Well...
So he kills them or he finds them and then the authority kills them?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
what
God,
happened.
that's really sad.
So the kind of evidence that you would gather is having a black dog that could put you under suspicion.
Right.
Having an argument with somebody and then that person becomes ill. and they would. So the witch finder would then. So if you come under suspicion, you would then be sent for, and the witch finder would then check you to check.
How do they check you?
Check your body.
Checks your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so
he's
he
a
would
doctor.
look. He would look for the devil's mark. So that
Devil's
would be a birthmark.
Okay.
Or a scar.
Yeah.
Or just any skin blemishes, basically.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So that was your test to see if you
already you match a lot of these ones.
2 devils. And and then if you had any of these blemishes,
yeah,
you would then be pricked with a needle.
I'm so sorry, it should be laughed, but I'm just imagining. What a terrible thing. I'm so sorry.
Get pricked with a needle, and if you bleed,
yeah,
then you weren't a witch if you did bleed. But if you didn't bleed, then you were considered to be being protected by the devil. So that meant you was a witch. But
right. I just
there was
a warfarin before. Anyway,
there was one woman who was involved in these trials,
yeah,
and she was sent for, and they pricked her, and she didn't bleed.
right.
So she was going to be like tried as a witch then.
Yeah.
But there was a lieutenant watching the
Yes.
proceedings, and he said that she was too beautiful to be a witch, and said that he knows how
I remember this story now.
he knows how the body works.
Yeah.
And that they were pricking her in the wrong place.
Ah.
So I guess that's how what they would do. They would he must know how it works, the witch finder.
Yeah, he knows.
Try and find the places where they wouldn't bleed, so he could then claim the money for it and send them to.
Oh
to
my
be
goodness
killed,
me!
basically.
Wow.
So he made them prick her again in a different place.
Yes.
And she bled and was allowed to go then.
Wow.
So she was saved by that guy, basically.
Oh my
for
goodness.
being beautiful.
Yeah.
So
that would have been me, wouldn't it?
there was one other guy who yeah, that would have been you, love. There was one other guy, and another way of finding out if someone was like suspicious.
Someone was a witch.
Was to flick through the Bible.
Yeah.
Pick 2 random words.
Yeah.
And then take the first letters of each word.
Yeah.
And if it kind of resembled somebody in the village,
right,
then they were.
Wait. You open the Bible and you pick 2 words from 2 different pages, or the same?
Yeah, just 2 random words from the Bible.
And then if.
So there was. Well, I'll explain, because there's this one guy called John Hutton.
Yeah.
And so they looked and they got J-O from the one word that they selected, and then the second word began with H-U. So they decided, that guy, John Hutton, he's known for finding things. So he's good at finding things. That must mean
he has some
selected his letters here in the Bible.
Yeah.
He must be have some sort of sorcery going on or something like that.
Yeah.
So they beat him and made him give up names of other people that were witches. So this is how they found. That's how they found a lot of the people who were suspected. Was beating this guy up.
He just gave random names.
Giving random names of people in the village. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And he actually died of his injuries. That's how much they must have beat him.
Oh.
So.
Goodness me, the terrible things people used to have to go through.
It's not good to live in them days.
No, absolutely not. I changed my mind when I was watching Victoria.
So, 30 people overall were questioned and pricked.
Yeah.
And 14 women and 1 man.
Is that where the word prick comes from? Because he's like, when you're angry with someone, you say you prick.
I don't think that's from there.
Okay.
But anyway, so 14 women and 1 man were eventually...
killed.
They were hung. 14 women and 1 man were hung.
Okay.
But 30 were questioned. And there was one woman who was absolutely convinced that one of the people being tried wasn't a witch.
Yes.
And she tried to convince other people in the village that this woman, Margaret Brown, she was innocent.
Yeah.
And not to give evidence against her, because she's definitely not a witch.
Yeah.
But the woman trying to convince everyone was actually sent to prison for a year for trying to convince other people.
Oh my God.
So even if you couldn't really do anything to even try and stop them, once they decided, that was it.
That's it. Oh goodness me.
And so there was one woman who pleaded her innocence. It don't say I couldn't find the name of the woman who this was.
Yeah.
One of the women that were hanged,
Yeah.
all the way through it, she was saying she's innocent. And when they were about to hang her, she asked God to give them a sign to the people to prove that she was innocent.
Yeah.
And when she was hung, a load of blood spurted from her mouth. I think she probably just bit her tongue or something like that.
Yeah.
But they saw that as a sign, like, oh, she was telling the truth, she was innocent.
Yeah.
And that they'd killed her by mistake. Didn't stop her from hanging everyone else, though.
No. Goodness me. So how long, do you have any information about like how long this act went on for? And did this guy ever got found, by the way?
No, well, they actually, the weird thing is, they actually suspected that he was a fraud halfway through.
Yeah.
But because they'd gathered a load of evidence and people were saying things, they just pressed on with it anyway.
Oh my God. Terrible.
So he just vanished, the guy, once he'd collected his money, and obviously they worked out that he might not be all he was saying he was. He just disappeared. I found one article saying that he was actually tried and sent to prison, but I've not found that anywhere else. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. So he found all these people that he found. Were they all in Newcastle or from the country?
Yeah, they were all from around that area, from the
Goodness
Newcastle
me.
area.
Okay.
So
surely that he created other jobs in other part of England, the witch finder, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, well, there's that one main guy who killed most of them, but then other ones that just pop up, probably hear about this. Well, I can do that as well. And just,
Well, that's such a terrible story. It's not fun.
I mean, that was not the most famous one. The most famous one was actually the Pendle Witch Trials, which actually took place in Lancaster, and that was a woman who she saw a guy who was travelling from one town to another.
Yeah.
And she met him on the road, and she was either begging or asking to buy pins, because she was claiming she used to do witchcraft, like she would make potions and stuff like that, obviously to make a bit of money.
Yeah.
And these pins, that they were deemed to be quite, needed for witchcraft. And this guy had some pins and she wanted them off him, so she was begging for him or wanted to buy them. He wouldn't give them her. So she said to him, like, sort of strike you down, whatever, like cursed him sort of thing. And he collapsed on the floor. They presumed he had all his left side was in agony. He was in such pain. I think he had a stroke.
Yeah.
That'd be what had happened. You say, oh, he collapsed. He had a stroke.
Yeah.
But because she'd cursed him, she was absolutely convinced of her powers as well. She believed that she was like a witch as well.
Yeah.
And so she was tried along with her family, but she also was asked, is there anyone else doing witchcraft in the area? And she didn't like this family who lived in the same village, so she blamed them.
Don't tell me.
So all of them went to trial.
Yeah.
And the 9-year-old daughter of one of them as well acted as a witness to say that they were witches.
No way! Oh my God!
So
they took the word of 9 years old.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
So I think there was like 12 people hung in that particular trial. But yeah, it went on all over the country and across Europe as well. I think Germany was quite big on witches. And so that's the end of the story, love. So is there anyone that if you was living in the 1600s, is there anyone that you would accuse of witchcraft?
Yes.
Are you going to tell us?
No. You know who? You know who? I have 2 people.
All right.
You tell me.
Would I? No.
Yeah. Tony Blair.
Tony Blair.
Tony Blair. This is someone. Yeah, definitely. I would accuse him of that. Yeah, it's an interesting story. I was just thinking, before I told you, I remember there was something about like that. They burnt. It says here that there was a trial in Sweden, 1675, where the largest witch trial in Swedish history. Single day, 71 people, 65 women and men were beheaded and burned. Do you know, though, when someone says a witch, before this, what your research, when someone says a witch, do you think of a woman or a man?
Well, yeah, a witch is a woman and a wizard is a man.
Yeah.
So I don't know why in Iceland it's 90% a men. They must have a different...
I don't know.
Maybe they just class wizards and witches as being all the same. But when you think of a wizard, you think of someone who's magical and can do good things. You don't think of someone who's a...
Yeah, wizard,
Whereas a witch has, bad connotations.
Yeah. Do you know why? This is just society being horrible to women.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Because, you know, if a man is doing something, he's praised. If a woman does something, you know, it's looked down upon, no matter what. Do you think this is going to change? No. I don't think it's going to change.
I mean, it's getting there slowly, but yeah.
No, it's not.
Do you reckon... I heard somewhere that if the speed that equality is moving...
Yeah.
You know, women getting equal rights and all that. If it carries on at the same pace,
Yes.
then you'll have equal rights and everything by about 3021 or something. It was miles down the line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the thing is,
I presume that's worldwide because obviously some countries are better than others.
Yeah. I know. What do you think about all of that?
No, I think a woman should know her place. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay. Well, thank you. This was really, really interesting. Did they teach you about this in school?
No, never heard that in school before.
We got taught. We have. I don't remember. It's been obviously ages since I lived in Sweden, but there is like a. I don't know if it's a ceremony or something. There is something like that is celebrated or something every year. And it's in memory of all the witches or something. I can't really remember exactly what it is. But something similar.
No, I mean, we just lump everything into Halloween, don't we, over here?
Yeah, I guess so. Tell me, and be honest. Be honest. Pick 2 people that you're going to accuse that they are a witch or a wizard.
Bloody hell, I don't know. You mean like famous people?
It doesn't matter. 2 people that you absolutely dislike very much. I don't want to say hate, because hate is a very strong word, isn't it, Liebes?
Why are you saying that? Just because you're watching this bloody program with German people in it.
I'm German now. Älskling. Here you go.
I have no idea. I can't think of anyone.
Oh, Dennis, come on.
I can't.
Dennis, all the people that you troll on Twitter, shall I give your account?
I don't troll anyone. I barely use the bleed.
Dennis.
Barely use the thing.
Come on, mate. Take an age.